There's a saying in Iran, Esfahan, Nesfa Jahan, which means Esfahan is half the world. And surely its beauty, charm and splendor have cast strange and marvelous spells over many visitors. A lot has been said and written about Esfahan, but the following is true. This land, with all its beauty, has left the world at a loss for words. Before I came to this amazingly fantastic and historic country, I imagined a wild desert land with arid hills. I would never have thought that there would be a forgotten paradise in the half-humid conditions of the semi-arid area of this great country. Because of its unbelievable variety, both historic and geographical, and its antiquity, it is one of the top 10 tourist attractions in the world. On the eastern corner of Nasser Jahan Square and opposite Sheikh Lotfullah Mosque, a structure has been built that is world famous and is believed to be one of the greatest masterpieces of Iranian architecture of the 16th century. Quite a difficult climb to the top of Ali Gapur Palace, but the view is worth every step. It was originally the centre of government, and it was also the first skyscraper in Esfahan. It has 6 floors, each of which was decorated in a different theme. On the second floor, you'll find a superb view of the square. And on the 6th floor, you'll find the music hall. Now, this was the king's private hall of pleasure. And on the walls and ceilings, you'll find carved niches and cornices in the shape of long-stemmed vases, supposedly for acoustic purposes. And it's here that singers and musicians of high repute entertained the king until the early hours of the morning. background, you'll see the Sheikh Lutfollah Mosque, built right opposite the Ali Ghapoor Palace. It was built by Shah Abbas in honor of the Lebanese Sheikh Lutfollah, a very charismatic religious leader of his time. As with the Imam Mosque, this mosque is also facing Mecca, and the 45-degree angle at which it's built is not obvious from here. It was used as a place of private worship, and therefore has no minarets or courtyard. But let's take a closer look at this mosque. Means 40 pillars, and the number 40 signifies abundance and multiplicity in Iranian literature. The symbolism then of this design is that the 20 pillars on this porch would be reflected in the pool beyond, thereby creating an impression of 40 pillars in the viewer's mind. Chehelsatun Palace was built in Chehelsatun Gardens, and it was used mainly for the purposes of foreign entertaining and for foreign dignitaries. Inside the Chahal Palace, it's a visual feast of Iranian and European artistry, all done under the supervision of the Safavid-era artisan Reza Abbasi Kassan. Of the 6 wall paintings, 4 belong to the Safavid era, and they depict scenes of wars, battles, conquests, and of course the lavish entertaining of the Safavid era. Unfortunately, most of these paintings were destroyed during the Zoltan rule, but then, as it is today, it's being lavishly restored to its former beauty. Let's take a closer look at each of these paintings. This is the reception scene of Nadir Muhammad Khan, the king of Turkestan, who sought refuge with Shah Abbas II here in Isfahan in order to help him reclaim his lost governments. The oldest structure in Isfahan is said to be Jome, or Friday, or Jame of Isfahan, public mosque. The main facade of the mosque was built in the Seljuqi period. The renovation, additions and maintenance is related to other times, especially the Safaviye period. Recent archaeological investigations have also discovered pre-Seljuqi stages, which may be the work of the Al-Buye period or that of the 8th century AD. The mosque is composed of many interesting parts. The prayer area was built in the Dilamian period under a roof supported by arched columns, decorated with wonderful plaster designs. The dome and the 40 columns surrounding it were built in the southern portico in the 9th century. The dome is a rare example of a structure built in the Seljuqi period. Traditionally, the trade centers of Iran were always the bazaars. The bazaar became a major element of Islamic architecture after it became established as an enclosed lane with shops lining both sides and a number of side lanes branching off it. The interior of the enclosing roof of the scheme was decorated and gave life to the interior. The bazaar was the second structure forming the core of a neighborhood after the mosque. Each city, in fact, contained one central bazaar, giving service to smaller ones, which provided for the needs of the population of different neighborhoods. The most important bazaar of Esfahan is Gaizeriye, which joins Nakhsh Jahan Square to the Old Square and the Saljuji part of Esfahan. Gaizeriye was established in 1621 AD. The intricate and elegant gate into the bazaar has been named after the market itself. A dome covers the spacious circular central area of the bazaar and has been compared by Andrea Godard to those built by Spanish Arabs in the past. It would be hard to dispute the claim that Iran produces the most elaborate and decorative carpets in the world, and indeed it has become their single biggest cultural export. Once you're here, you'll realize just how important carpets are to Iranian life. Even in the remotest rural village where furniture might be scarce, there's a carpet everywhere. Here at the Esfahan Bazaar, there's enough handicrafts to make your head spin. Everything from handicrafts to silverware, copperware, textiles, fabrics, khatam kari, which is the most amazing, elaborate wood design, to, of course, carpets. For the untrained eye, the choice might be difficult, but luckily I've got Salman here to guide me along. Salman, what is so special about this Esfahan carpet?
The Isfahani carpets are famous in the world because of the coloration and the motifs, designs, because we've got the sources of the mosques in Isfahan, which we imitate all the designs from them.
Now, we've got a central point here, and then everything seems to work around this. Tell me a bit about the philosophy of the design.
The philosophy is that the central point is always a symbol of the unification. It means the God.
Right.
And all these Islami patterns, which they are imitated from the tomb of Sheikh Lutfullah Mosque, are a symbol of the period of life which they are all going to the center.
Right.
And then we've got the borders here. It means when we die, we come to the another world, which is all repetition. But that world is also under the power of the central point.
What's the importance of the floral design? It seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, the flower design is coming from the, as I told you, is coming from the mosque.
From the mosque.
But in the carpets, depends where they're located. On the Islami patterns, they show you the difference in the period of the life. It means childhood, youth, when you get old, and today.